Wait, so BioWare is doing a Star Wars MMO slated for release in 2011? Let's beat them to the punch and talk to CBS about acquiring the license to do a Star Trek MMO. Set after Star Trek Nemesis. We'll call it Star Trek Online. Yeah, totally original title. Greetings, fellow adventurers. Fred here, and welcome to the Digital Adventure, the show that explores RPGs in the digital space. And today we are boldly going into the vast reaches of space to explore one of... Greetings, fellow adventurers. Fred here, and welcome to the Digital Adventure, the show that explores RPGs in the digital space. And today we are exploring in the vast reaches of one of sci-fi's greatest creations, and that is Star Trek. Now, most of you who have been with the channel for a long time will know I like Star Trek for different reasons that I like Star Wars. And while I love the Star Trek MMO, Star Trek Online, there are things I take issue with. And today we are going to be looking at what I don't like and what I do like about the Star Trek MMO. So without further ado, engage! Starting off with what I don't like about Star Trek Online, it's way more complicated than it needs to be. And I'm talking the systems they have on top of the basic things that you learn in the tutorial level. They have a lot of systems like duty officers, there's bridge officer management, ship customization, character and crew customization. The list goes on. And they do a suboptimal job of explaining how you use these systems to your advantage. I can understand the lack of hand-holding. A lot of games do hold your hand through most of it, and it's very annoying at times. But this is a game with this much complexity. You need a bit more hand-holding than they allow. And aside from the complexity that the game has, it has very janky animations, possibly jankier than Skyrim. I've seen my character's waist turn a full 90 degrees when holding a blaster and taking aim. I'm like, is that even physically possible? And there have been times the animation's glitched out. I wish I had footage of it because it's kind of hilarious. But those are the things I don't like about Star Trek Online. While there is a lot that I don't like about Star Trek Online, there's a lot more about what I do like about Star Trek Online. And the first thing I want to talk about in this regard is the space combat. Oh my word. This stuff is just what this game does ridiculously well in terms of gameplay. It gives exciting, engaging, and overall fun space flight and combat. There are times I'm just perfectly chilling the game to just fly around in my Sovereign class starship and just not take on any missions because I just love flying in space and just seeing what's the next star over. It's a very fun and engaging system that they put in place. They should have based the whole game around commanding starships, but they didn't, and the the space flying combat alone makes it worth sitting through the relatively boring and janky ground missions. The second thing they do well in Star Trek Online is the story. If the space missions make the ground missions worth sitting through, the story makes the ground missions bearable. I mean, the story is just great and intriguing, pulling from Star Trek lore from all over. They deal with a lot of the concepts that they dealt with on the shows. Like, there's time travel where you get to go back to the original series. These era Star Trek and get to meet Dr. McCoy, Scotty, and even Spock tells you to live long and prosper. You get to go to locations from iconic episodes from the TV series. You get to deal with things in the movies. It is an overall amazing story, or combobulation of stories over different seasons, like you're playing your own Star Trek TV show. And that is what makes it glorious. And the final thing that the Star Trek Online does well is regular and routine content updates. I mean, this game has to be the fastest at churning out new content and for its players to go through, and they don't rush the content, and it seems like every time I turn around there is new content to explore. It's kind of a whack-a-mole style. I'll knock one, another pops up. It's a very well done thing, and they don't seem like slowing down at all. Overall, Star Trek Online is a victim of trying to be many things at one time, and trying to capture the experience of being in a Star Trek TV show. Does it succeed in that? Depends. And on the space and story side, it does well. Planet side, it's iffy. But this game has a lot more content than one would believe, and a lot more content than I believe most MMOs in general have in general. But when it does well, the game nails it. So those are my thoughts on Star Trek Online. And if you played the game yourself, let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. And if you haven't, but want to jump in on it, I'll have a link down below to the game so you can try it out for yourself. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new around here, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss another video. You can find links down below to my social media, as well as the pages where you can support the channel. Or if you just want to drop me an email, you can do so at this address. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the Trail of Adventure.